We begin with this. A high-stakes NATO summit is just getting underway with President Trump slamming U.S. allies in the military alliance. The president arrived at NATO headquarters in Belgium after telling its Secretary General that several NATO partners are not spending enough on defense. He also called Germany captive to Russia because of a plan to build a natural gas pipeline between the two countries.
This meeting begins Mr. Trump's four-city European trip that will end with his highly anticipated summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Weijia Zhang is traveling with the president in Brussels. Weijia, good morning.
Good morning, John. President Trump set the tone for the summit during that meeting with the Secretary General. Typically, leaders hash out their conflicts in private, but their tense exchange unfolded as the cameras were rolling. And now there is no question just how hard the president plans to press NATO allies over money.
We have a very good relationship.
Moments after posing for a pleasant photo op, President Trump lectured NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, accusing other NATO members of not paying their fair share of defense spending.
Many countries owe us a tremendous amount of money for many years back, where they're delinquent, as far as I'm concerned, because the United States has had to pay for them.
The United States does pay a higher percentage of its GDP toward defense than any other NATO member, about twice as much as France and roughly 3 times more than Germany. In 2014, NATO countries set a goal to contribute 2% by 2024, but the president interpreted that as a formal commitment.
I think it's a very bad thing for NATO.
President Trump also singled out Germany for supporting gas deals with Moscow, since one of NATO's main objectives is to stop Russian aggression.
How can you be together when a country is getting its energy from the person you want protection against or from the group that you want protection?
Because we understand that when we stand together, also when dealing with Russia, we are stronger. I think what we have seen is that...
No, you're just making Russia richer. Well, you're not dealing with Russia, you're making Russia richer.
Secretary Stoltenberg acknowledged some NATO members agree with the president's point, but said it shouldn't divide the alliance.
We have always been able to unite around our core task to protect and defend each other, because we understand that we are stronger together than apart.
Later today, President Trump will meet with French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who responded a short time ago saying she is expecting controversial discussions during this summit. U.S. allies are also wary of the president's warm embrace of Vladimir Putin, especially since their one-on-one summit in Helsinki is just days away. Alex?
Lots to talk about there. Weijia Zhang in Brussels. Thanks, Weijia.